Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed, where three gamers talk about anything, everything about games. And I am co-host of Quest Unplayed, George. And today's quest is joined by Anthony,
Hi, everyone.
Zach,
Hi.
and we have another guest or other guests. Arman is on the bottom left.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, and Nik is another one.
What's up, guys?
Nice. Thanks.
Hi,
Thank you for coming, you
guys.
two.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Before we begin, this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub and a gaming companion app. Sync your game accounts, make your own game collection, connect with other gamers, and basically do anything and everything about games.
If you like games, you're not there. I don't know what to tell you. It's the best.
I think Bloodborne.
That became a lot.
No, it is knocking me out.
Oh, God. Minimap, your ultimate.
He's open for voice.
That was George's
if everybody
voice.
needs him.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
my voice. Yeah. we couldn't afford a voice actor for this.
Just email us if you want him to do more voiceover work. We're loaning him out.
All right, I'm sure we'll get into it, but we did a lot of voices in our game too. So.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's amazing.
I was talking about. I was just like, that's an advertisement for anybody. All right. If I ever make a game, I'm definitely having George do one of the voices.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll go for it.
The narrator.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna make him the main guy. He just and says random things like, "There's a cat in my boot," and I'm like, just go with it, man.
All right. Again, thank you to you two for coming. Could you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and the game, Travelers Refrain?
Sure. I'm Nick. I'm one of the co-founders of Red Essence Games, along with Arman. And we built a 2D hand-painted action RPG about a wandering musician, like a struggling musician, who wanders into this ancient forbidden forest in search of a way to get back to his long-lost love. So he finds this magical instrument, and one of the main mechanics you guys are seeing in the trailer is you actually get to like input these commands while playing the instrument to cast the spells. And that's like the main, gist of combat. And alongside that, it's a very heavily story-driven game. We were deeply inspired by kind of the classic RPGs and Zelda games from when we were kids, and we kind of brought our lifelong gaming experience into this game. So yeah, and I guess I should say I'm primarily the lead artist on the project, as well as kind of like the project manager. We all kind of had to wear many hats. But Arman, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name's Arman, and I live with Nick in Texas, Houston, Texas. I'm a programmer by
Texas. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yep. Originally Pennsylvania, actually, but yeah, we moved to Texas. So I'm a lead programmer and designer on the project, and programmer by trade. That's what I went to college for. I just started making games with Nick about 7 or 8 years ago, and this is actually our second title. The first one actually was never like fully released. It was just a demo online, but this is our baby right now. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on.
So wait, hold on. Are you? Did you say you're living with him right now?
We live in Houston. We don't live like.
Oh.
In the
I was about
I was like, are you guys in separate rooms? Like, hey man, you go to my room.
No, but that would be awesome.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh,
It'll save money. I'm just saying, baby.
Get up!
Back
It's
in
time to
Philly,
game
we
dev.
back in Philly, we live down the street from each other, so
Oh,
within walking distance.
oh, nice.
So both of you guys from the same place originally as well.
Yes, so we've been friends since we were like 15 or 16 years old.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
okay.
And we kind of were, graduating college, like going out on our own. We, had this idea of starting a game studio, and
why not?
yeah, exactly. Like I knew he went to school for programming, I went to school for art, so we were like, that's like the skills, the base skills you need to make a game, and we just kind of dove into something.
So, if you guys were in the same spot, like, why'd you move to Houston, Texas?
So first of all, my wife got a really good opportunity down here, and then his girlfriend at the time, now wife, she was also able to get a position at the same company. So we were kind of just like, oh, why don't we just all kind of move down together? We'll still work on our game and just change of scenery kind of thing.
We were actually
You didn't tell her. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We were in the middle of like actually talking to a publisher at the time for our first title, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna send you an offer by the end of the week." And we were like so excited. We're like, "Oh, Friday's coming. They're gonna send us an offer. We're gonna get published." And like a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and nothing from these guys. And then we finally all moved down to Houston. Don't hear from them for a month. Reach out to them again. They're like, "Oh, we're actually just getting around to playing your game." We're like, "Okay, this is a scam."
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
So that was a weird experience.
Wow.
But, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It'll happen more than once, I promise. I was gonna say, you didn't tell your girlfriend, like, hey man, his wife got a job down there. I'm gonna need you to do the same thing. We're all moving.
No, I think I was the one looking for she was looking for a change in job anyway, right? And then Grace was was like, "Hey, there's this position at my job. Do you want to do it?" And then they were like, "Yeah, you guys got to move to Houston if you want to keep the jobs." And then we all kind of were like, "Yeah, why not?"
Wow, just kind of worked out. It was like time and just the right time, and right situation.
So you guys are basically
do you guys work at your apartments, or do you have like an actual like a place a brick and mortar place you work at?
We don't have a brick and mortar place, but we have, I have a big enough place that sometimes he comes here, sometimes I'll go there, and we can kind of collab together in the same area. He only lives like 20 minutes away, so it's pretty convenient.
Yeah, I was just going to slowly get your address so I could drive over there. So I didn't know, like, is there like a studio? What's the address?
We used to work together a lot back when we lived near each other in Philly, and I would come over like 3 times a week, a couple hours a day, and he's like, "You know what, dude, you want to like start coming over, for 5 hours a day?" I was like, "Sure." Then it evolved into 5 days a week, and then we were just full-time indie devs by then.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, so I got this playable mattress with a real comfort blanket. You want to just stay? We could do game nights."
That did happen.
I believe it.
Yeah, we have some stories for sure.
That's definitely before you guys got married and had kids, right?
That's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't even married back then when we started either. Yeah. No, she was still my girlfriend at the time.
Good old days, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean, George? He's like, yeah, before marriage, good times, right, boys?
No, boys' nights are like good times before God.
Yeah, boys' nights are
marriage is okay. With, like, once you have a child, like you're like,
oh yeah. Once you have the kids, that's a lot of people be like, kids are my favorite part of life, and I'm like, they're cool and all, but
I can't make it tonight, boys.
The way my finances are set up.
I think this is the perfect time to shift a little bit into taking the gamer type quiz. And you two said you guys want to take it together, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Arman and I definitely have some differences in opinion, but We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. First question. It's finally the weekend after a long, tiring week. Do you play video games together with a friend, or do you spend quality time alone?
Oh man, Armand knows mine, but what do you?
I know yours. I would say if this was like 3 or 4 years ago when I was a heavy Overwatch player, I would say that the first one, but I would go with the second one right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Okay, agree. The new game just released isn't your type, but a friend is urging you to play with. It's not your cup of tea, so you refuse at first, but it'd be fun to play. Or you listen to your friend's words and play together right away.
Probably the first one.
Probably the first one. Do you agree to?
Yeah. Probably the first
He's
one.
like, fine, whatever. Just what is it?
Next question. You're thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get good game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that's too much. Or if it has good information, getting ranked up after 3 days is no problem.
Gaming community with
it's kind of like
game information.
Yeah, kind of like good.
It's like when you join a Discord and they're like, "Oh, tell us like your favorite like lasagna."
Yeah, like all those.
Please
things.
read the rules of the Discord.
I'd probably do number 2, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. It's not a problem for me yet.
Before you buy a game, you carefully read over people's reviews, watch trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you trust your instinct and make a purchase.
Definitely
Probably
number 2.
the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. If someone's watching you play a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay, or you're actually good at it, but due to pressure, you are missing skill shots.
Number
Nick's
1.
number 2. Nick's number 2.
No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Dude, I came over your house the one time. You're like, "Oh, I swear, I keep missing, dude, but you can do it. I know you can do it."
Number one.
Wow.
Number 1?
All right, number 1. Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends if Armand is cheesing in Super Smash Brothers. That's
come on, dude.
Using Villager.
He said, come on, man.
You're playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over the tutorials, or if the game looks similar, you played before, then you skip the tutorials.
Number 1 for sure. You don't skip tutorials.
Okay.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Armand?
definitely number
You
1.
don't skip tutorials, right?
No.
I mean, if you do, you'll find yourself later going, what was that stupid button again? And you're just
Yeah.
looking around like,
No, I'll actually be like, "This game sucks." No.
oh, and it's like you just had to hit X and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel kind of dumb now.
Next question. You're playing a mystery solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery solving games, that guy is the culprit, or that person looks suspicious, but you need to start collecting evidence first.
2.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay, evidence
Calculated.
I know how these games go. They're always trying to trick you.
Yep. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. That's not a big difference, and my friends are waiting, so I just go, or you tell them to wait. You go back to the lobby to equip the rune.
Number 2
1.
for sure.
Number 2, you got to equip the rune?
Yeah, of course you do, dude. You gotta get reset.
Yeah, you would make me wait for that. I don't know.
Like, I'm a
let's
0.01.
We're split on this one, so we might need to have you guys
paper.
pick or flip a coin or something.
No, this got to be you guys. You guys.
All right, let's go number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah,
That's
Nick,
the
you
one
can
you
override
said.
the next one.
Okay.
All
okay.
right, fine.
I mean, 0.01%.
Honestly, I probably would just do it anyway, but all right.
During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
I think number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Okay.
Can't leave the homies to die like that.
Yeah.
Next question. Even if you don't express it, you feel like you keep losing because of your friend. Are they not feeling well? You lift up your friend's spirits, or you send them a link to the character's tips and tricks and suggest their gameplay.
Oh God, don't be number 2.
No.
Definitely number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally my type. Considering the balance of my party, I cannot put them in my party, or you have to put your favorite character in the party no matter the cost.
I put my
Ooh.
favorite character in the party.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it when they make games with characters that are super dope, but they have like the worst abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like, why did you?
Vincent
What?
after 7.
Yeah.
Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, but it does not affect my gameplay. You hate chaotic things. Your desktop is neatly cleaned.
Probably
Mine's
leaning
pretty
more
clean.
towards 1 here.
Yeah. Mine is definitely 2.
Okay.
Let's
so
do
are
2. Let's do 2 since you got the last one.
All right,
Okay.
sure.
Before getting into the game, I searched the internet just in case I end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievements.
Oh, this is
Oh,
where
boy.
I know we're
Oh, boy.
split. I'm number 1 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm number 2. But
So,
Nick will not sleep tonight if we pick number 2 here. So
okay. You got to get all the achievements. Okay.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Wait, how many?
I'll
How many?
let you have that one, Nick.
How many achievements does Traveler's Refrain have?
I think 34.
Okay.
34, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good amount. Last question. You who happen to play lots of games, you play a game you feel like playing at the moment from your collection, or you have a gaming schedule on when to beat a certain game.
Damn, I only have
Number
I think
one
number
for me.
1. Yeah.
Number 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's see.
Oh, okay. You are a harmonious druid.
Druid. Interesting.
Druids are weak. Hell yeah.
Says no one who's ever played Dungeons and Dragons. You can turn to a bear. What a bitch.
You love multiplayer more than single player. You like to leave my roots and grow my own party instead. You do enjoy competition, but I'm better at multiplayer games. I go online just to mingle with friends or people. I actually enjoy sharing my items with newbies. I know everything about this game and remember everything. You approach a newbie, say, I'm here to help you. First, you have to go to this NPC, collect 10 apples, and blah, blah, blah. Or, why play a game if there's no one to chat with? I spend more time chatting than actually playing, and you are a natural social butterfly.
I think some of these.
I think it's split between us pretty evenly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I played a lot of online games like WoW and stuff, so I'm kind of I used to talk to a lot of people online, but not so much anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Good. So you guys like multiplayer survivor games? Awesome.
Maybe not me in particular, but I can understand the survival part of it.
Okay.
I'll play some Resident Evil.
All right. Thanks for taking the gamerside quiz.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that was fun. What is it called? Is it on the Minimap site?
Yeah, yeah. If you have, I'll share the link to your Discord.
Cool.
Nice.
See if you want to like share it to your friends or something, and see what their gamer type quiz is or gamer type is. All right, thank you for taking this, and I think we are ready to jump to the Bulletin Board Waypoint. This is where we talk about weekly game chronicles, whatever happened this week or in the past week, about games. And I guess the first thing we have to talk about is GTA 6. They just announced that their game is delayed once again. I have no idea how many more times they'll be delaying again. Because I think like a lot of people said it's supposed to come out in fall of 2025, but they officially announced that it's gonna come on May. I think it's like May 26th.
May 26th.
26th.
I feel like when it's that big of a jump in date, that's usually the one they are like, okay, we're sticking to this one.
Okay.
Especially because it's an actual date, right? And not just like, oh, sometime in Q2 of
Right,
next year.
okay.
Q2, Q5. Wait, 5? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
For GTA 6, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Q8. You're like, that's not even that's how the quarters work. But okay.
I guess that makes sense because they specifically announced the date. That means it's kind of like hard for them to delay it again afterward that date. So they probably have a specific timeline.
I just saw too, like literally right before we got on, the Game Awards account was sharing new screenshots. Do you guys know, was that from a trailer or is it just they released some screens?
I think
They released a trailer today,
Okay, yeah, I didn't
a
see that
gameplay
yet.
trailer, and it had over 40 million views.
No
Holy
way.
Well,
crap.
the thing that
I watched
the
it.
thing
I
that-
watched it today.
Oh,
There was a YouTube, so it kind of broke a YouTube record. It was like 1 million likes or something like that.
wow.
Like
Yeah.
within a certain amount of time, because like rarely does a video ever get 1 million likes. I don't know any
Well,
of them that actually have. So
a
that
lot of
was
people were analyzing like every single little part in the game to see what's there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean-
was so funny because like IGN said, "Oh look, there's a PS5 in the game."
That's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah, but I
So
think
that,
I mean it already reached 40 million, right? I saw it this morning, and then it was only like 35 million. So 5 million more people watched it in like an hour.
that's a lot of buckaroos.
That's crazy.
And yep,
But does it look good?
it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the graphic was
Looks really good.
great.
Like
I'm
even
sure that it's yeah. I
I'm
mean, if
gonna
it's taking
say-
them that long to make it, you know what I mean?
even the beer bottle was sweating. You could see the sweat from the beer bottle.
Whoa.
Yeah, they had.
Was it working out?
Yeah, you can see the
Yeah, but I mean, they probably will make billions and billions of dollars on the
yeah.
release date.
Oh,
39
easily.
million views right now
Yeah.
from the one from their actual site.
That's crazy.
This is gonna be like the highest selling game of all time.
Probably. Well, I
There's-
don't know. Yeah.
There's no doubt it probably win Game of the Year next year for sure when it comes out.
Oh yeah.
There's
So-
no
I don't even
competition.
know what
wise.
other big stuff is coming out next year. I guess typically they do like a 6-month marketing cycle, so probably
Yeah.
more towards December we'll hear more.
The
But
thing about
And-
this is now with GTA 6 has a release day. Every publisher and developers out there is like, yeah, we're not releasing our game anytime around that
yeah,
time.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. yeah.
No.
Nope, we're delaying. This is
Yeah.
an unofficial delay.
A lot of, especially for like
Yeah.
AAA studios, they have a lot of money and budget going into the development already, so they don't want to be messing with GTA 6 release date. They're like, we can just push a couple more, or like another year. Be better for
I'm
them.
about to say
another
this
year.
is all this from a top-down game.
Yeah,
from the
I know,
90s.
right? I remember playing
yeah,
GTA
it's
2.
crazy.
Yeah,
Where you could just shut down a whole city block with your top-down view of your car and flamethrower, and just cop cars like, "Wee, wee, wee." You're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just blowing stuff up. It's the
Yeah.
funnest day ever.
did it even have story, like narrative in GTA 2? And
I can't even remember.
I
It
don't
literally
remember.
came out when I was like 18.
They did have like they had like a story. I mean, it's like one of those stories that we see like in movies and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but then like
Well,
all I
like,
remember was like destroying everything and like.
I would say
stealing
maybe because I
cars.
just was shutting down blocks, like no one's coming in forever, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm sure Rockstar's happy.
Probably.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
this probably whole thing is like a part of marketing too. Like
Yeah.
releasing the second video after so many years or so many months after the first one, and
I'm watching this trailer for the first time right now. Well, I'm actually not listening to it. I'm just looking at it. Why does it look to me like a Fast and Furious trailer movie clip
That's what they're going
without
for.
any context? Like I have no volume. I'm just watching it going, okay, where's Vin Diesel at?
Yeah.
I mean, they had the budget. They could just put Vin Diesel in the game.
Yep.
Now he's
Don't
already
even-
in Arc, right?
Don't even motion
yeah,
cap
true.
him. Just
He's
put him in there
the
like this.
he's the creative director for Arc, right?
Is he actually? I know that
I think-
there's like a model of him in the game, but I didn't know he was
Yeah.
actually like involved in developing it.
He is involved in development. And,
That's
yeah.
so weird.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
I hope he's in the game. Like you can meet him. He's like, yo, come on, let's race.
Oh, he is in the game. Yeah, they made a character of him in the game. You could see him.
Family first.
Oh yeah, yeah, family.
Yeah, family.
I need a 40-second lawnmower. What are you talking about, man?
oh gosh, yeah, but yeah.
No, I mean, good. Hats off to them, Rockstar.
yeah, I think
congratulations.
They're doing a good job, I guess.
I don't think they
know,
have ever
The
had a
only thing
game where
is what would the
wasn't
price
some-
be? That's the main question.
as much as a
Is it-
console.
It's gonna be $100.
Oh, you
People
think?
are
I mean,
people say that they're okay with $100.
yeah, like even if it's $100, everyone's gonna get it anyways. It's like the most recent Mario game was like $80, right? The Nintendo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll wait till the.
Well, so far everyone raised the price. Xbox recently raised their price for their first party games to $80 now, starting this year.
And their consoles, they raised the
And the
price of their
console, yeah, for $100 more.
Just like
I'm
I don't
I'll
know
wait
how
till
I feel
the cheap indie pixel version of it comes out.
Let's get working
Yeah.
on it, Arma.
Yeah, just all I'm like, you know what? I'm going with this old retro look. Yeah, cost me
Yeah,
$20.
like a schedule one type of pixel art or art version. GTA, that's gonna be fun.
I was giving my friend a hard time because he got that one Sims game that's like super realistic. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about, right? Enzo or whatever.
Enzo, yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a game that was just released on
I know
Steam.
Yeah.
It was a game just now released on Steam that's like Inzoi, but it's just it's pixels. It's called like
really?
Pixelese or something like that. And I was like, bruh, so you just waited
a
for
total
Pixelese, man.
That's funny.
And when the cars drive, they literally look like the top view, down view of like the old school Grand Theft Auto.
Mm.
Yeah, I was cracking up. I was like, oh
No,
man,
if
I'll
I
be playing that.
recall, I think about a month ago or so. I remember Fortnite. They made like how they have their own custom modes and stuff. They created a area that's similar to GTA, where you just play in Fortnite mode.
Huh.
So you see cars are flying in, explosives everywhere.
Nobody was looking back. They were trying to be too cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't look back, man. The name is To Pixelia is the name of the game.
Okay, we'll
So
check
you
it
can
out.
have any job you want. You can like, it's literally like a life sim, but you're a pixel. It's all pixelated.
Interesting.
That's
Pixelia.
You could be a criminal. So I mean, if you don't want to wait for Grand Theft Auto and you just want to beat up pixel cops,
Yeah, you could do that too.
right?
I mean, I'm already doing that in Schedule 1.
Huh?
Yeah, schedule 1 is already
I'm already,
out, so
I'm already doing that in Schedule 1.
Yeah, but you have to be a drug dealer in pixel and
Okay,
schedule one here.
In Schedule 1, do you see the new update the person's going to start doing? The person's going to start adding police raid.
No, yeah, I saw that. You saw that.
that's gonna be fun.
You better stay out of my barn.
It's like Breaking Bad all over again.
You better stay out of our barn. We're strapped. I'll burn that thing down with them in it. Swear. No.
That
Can't
game
wait
looks
for my.
super fun, but like, how long does it take to ramp up until like you're actually selling?
Not long. It is a super fun game to play with your friends. I know that we have a group of 3 of us that are playing it right now, like me and my boy and my other friend. But my one friend is like, I'm over it now. Like, we finally got to cocaine. We started making cocaine, and he's like, I'm over it. What do we want to play next? I'm like, oh, kind of want to make more cocaine, but it's fine. But it is. We are to the point now where like you level up and you get more stuff, but it's like kind of like a soft. It's like a cap because
Okay.
I'm literally doing drug deals in front of cops and nothing's happening. I'm like, you got the stuff, man, and they're just like,
Oh, that's funny.
But it's probably been one of the games I played that's hurt my ribs the most. I'll say that much right now. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. I guess we just while we wait for GTA 6 to release next year, we can talk a little bit about Clair Obscur Expedition 33 this year. I know you two played, Arman and Anthony. You guys want to talk a little bit about it, or like how the game is, or?
I'm only 3 hours in, so how far are you, Anthony?
Anthony
I
doesn't
finished
sleep.
it.
Huh?
I finished it.
Oh, you finished it? Oh
This
my
was
God.
the one game I had to 100% it, no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're way further than I am. Okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
I'm in love with it.
When did this game come out, Anthony?
A few weeks ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, did
Oh.
it come out last Friday?
No,
I think
it
it
was
came
like
out.
a few
Oh,
weeks.
He said a few weeks ago, and he's like, that's Friday, bro.
It came out. Oh, maybe it was the.
no, it
the
was like
previous
a
Friday.
week. Yeah, 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like end of April or mid-April or something.
Okay.
Mhm.
April
Yeah,
24th.
Okay.
I just have to say, like, the first like hour of the game was crazy. I mean, like, I don't know, it was just such a mind-blowing like experience. I just don't know how they put it together. It's so beautiful. It's just an amazing game.
Okay.
And Nick, you got to play it. It's so
I know.
underrated.
So I'm like one of those weird old guys that like needs to have a physical copy of a game that I really like, and I
Oh.
cannot find it anywhere. I've
think-
like
Is it
literally.
even on physical?
It is.
It was, but it was sold out instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Anthony
I,
bought all of it. He bought all the copies.
No, yeah, it's
I
not for all. Just
imagine
like
that-
sell on eBay.
I imagine they're printing more. I don't think it's like a limited run or anything. But
No,
yeah,
they are.
Is it limited or what?
No, I think they are doing printing more. You can
Okay.
find it again, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to kind of wait because that is one that like I want to have like in my collection. If I was able to easily turn around my computer, I could show you guys like I have 2 giant bookshelves of physical games.
Oh no, we gotta see it.
No.
I mean, I
break
can-
everything.
You can take
I
a
can
picture of it.
try.
You can take a picture of it. Or,
No, you're
I mean,
fine,
don't
sir.
don't break a
No,
computer or
you're
anything.
fine.
I'll make a computer.
Don't break a
No,
computer.
no.
Yeah.
I don't want to unplug all my.
We'll
Yeah,
just.
yeah.
Armand's been over there. We'll just
Here,
we'll
use
just
them
get
here.
confirmation through him.
Yeah.
Come on, gamer tactics. Use them here.
Because like you, I'm a huge physical collector also.
me see if I can-
Oh.
That's why.
Oh.
Damn, you have a nice shelf and stuff.
Yeah, dude. I've been working
IKEA
on
for the win, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
IKEA
Oh,
and
yeah.
Target.
I know my IKEA. I got 2 of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but Anthony's a big collector too. But Anthony doesn't open anything. It's like all sealed up and.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
No, it's because there's no space at all.
Yeah,
I ran out of space.
yeah, I know that.
We're gonna visit Anthony with a U-Haul, and then suddenly he's gonna have more space. I don't know what happened.
Good luck with that.
We need to read
I got more
two
stuff.
of
I
them.
got more stuff coming.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
but that's fun. So is it Game
Yeah.
of the Year contender? Expedition 33.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I think
one of
it's
them?
definitely.
Okay.
I think it's gonna win Game of the Year, but I don't know what else is gonna come out this year. But
Silk
it would be
Song.
my pick so far.
I mean, I could definitely see it as a game of the year, also for sure. I mean, at least one of the top 5. What those they pick to find.
It's
It's
gonna be
but it's
like
really hard. It's really hard to tell because I don't
Yeah.
know what I think.
There's
we have.
not a lot out. There's not a lot of other stuff that's coming out this year that's really big. I mean,
Well-
there was Assassin's Creed that just came out. There's Ghost of Yote, which is coming out.
In October,
Oh,
yeah,
Metroid
that one.
Prime 4. Metroid
So-
Prime 4.
Oh, and
Silk
Borderlands
Song.
4 comes out in
Oh, and
September.
Borderlands 4. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. They just announced that release, right?
They even
That
announced
trailer.
saying, "Oh, we'll give you a couple of days earlier, so we're gonna change that release date to 3 days earlier."
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, that's a good competition. And
How many hours did it take you to beat Anthony?
Which one? Expedition?
No, Obscur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Expedition.
Yeah.
About 65 hours.
Oh, okay. That's 100%.
100% it, yeah.
Bro, that's
Okay.
over a work week.
Well, it's not an easy game, especially the part where there's no mini map.
yeah,
Oh man.
Yeah.
and
It's
Anthony
like
beat it in a
old
week.
school that you get to remember where'd you go. Like, oh yeah, I remember I going
Yeah,
down
no,
this
I'm
path
done.
before.
I'm never gonna play that game.
Yeah.
No, I get lost when there is a mini map. I'm like, what the hell?
Come on, man. It's sponsored by Minimap.
Yeah. Yeah, but Anthony probably beat it in like 3 days.
My God. That's some commitment right there.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
4 days? How long?
Possible.
I wish.
That's not
wish.
even possible.
I don't remember.
I wish I could know life this game and just enjoy it to its fullness.
It's
Without,
like one of those games where you pick up the controller, you start playing, then you don't want to drop it down. You just
Yeah.
keep going
Yeah.
and going.
So we're like,
I mean,
hey,
I think-
Anthony,
I
blah blah
mean-
blah. You're like,
They
I was
even
just thinking
announced that
today-
they're making a TV. They even announced they're making a movie out of it
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
they
got
did.
The,
They
Oh
did.
yeah, I
called
heard
the
about that.
cast.
too.
They should, for sure.
dang, that fast,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Who? Wow, that's crazy.
Mhm.
But I think
I was
I-
like playing it. I was like, this needs to be a movie.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
someone told me that the movie was actually planned before the release. So like as they were developing the game, they were already talking about making it into a movie. So
Wow.
so it's gonna
So even if it's not a big hit, they're still gonna do the movie.
yeah,
That's
that's what I
crazy.
heard. So
Is it a live action or is it like a animated?
Oh,
or
I
CG?
actually don't know. They're
Okay.
supposed to be live action.
I think
so
it's supposed to
we'll
be
see.
a live action, but yeah, animation is gonna be tough to make, I guess. Tougher, I guess, because it's not gonna be.
I don't think that
But
movie.
are they going to be able to capture that world
Yeah,
in real
yeah.
life?
So
Are they going to be able to
Yeah.
capture that world in real life? Is the question.
Ooh.
It's a good question.
It's going to cost a lot of money.
It
but
costs a lot of
probably.
money. Yeah.
Netflix is
A lot of green screens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
at this rate, they sold over 2 million copies. So
That's insane.
yeah, that's
Cheers.
and it's not a cheap game, right? It's like what, $60, $50,
I think it's 50.
$50.
50.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad. 50's not bad.
Yeah,
Compared to the most new games nowadays.
Compared to
Yeah.
what you get.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amount of content.
Yeah.
It's just
That's like how much a normal game back in the day was. A $50 game.
hmm
True.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I think that's enough for
Alright.
us. Our first bulletin board waypoint. I think we're ready to jump to the companion.
That's you
waypoint.
guys.
Yeah, this is where we meet the devs, which we have been already talking with for over 30 minutes, but let's do it. Before we talk more about your game and you two, let's watch the trailer with sound.
Sweet.
I wandered aimlessly, searching for a way back to her.
Me
I
too.
was eventually guided to this place. This wonderful, magical, despicable place. As I stumbled through the darkness of that forsaken forest, hearing only the wind through the trees and the creak of cogs, I remembered a forgotten song.
Game of the year right there. That's what I'm saying.
That's what we think too.
Hells yeah. No, it's not. It's a really good game, actually.
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that you, Nick, with the voice?
No. So our lead voice actor, his name is Essinger, and he's actually a touring musician, like a solo artist musician.
Oh.
So I actually went and saw a live band, and this guy opened up for them. And he got on stage by himself with a keyboard, a guitar, and himself and a microphone, and just started like playing this insane music. I was like, I went with my wife and we were looking at each other thinking this guy was like going to make a fool of himself up on stage by himself. But there's like lights going off and stuff like that. He's like rapping at one point. He's doing like metal growls at another point. He's like singing at another point. He has this like crazy range. So I didn't meet him that night, but I knew some members of the band that I saw, and I hit them up, and they didn't quite connect me, but they're like, yeah, he'd probably be interested. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, man, do you want to be in a video game? He was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we got him in the game, and he, I think, has a really cool voice and did a great job. So,
Oh yeah. So I actually streamed your game.
oh, you did?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and
Nice.
that was one of the main things I got from people watching. They were like, "Who's this guy?" Because
Really?
I said it on the stream. I was like, "Yo, dude, who's this guy? And why is he not doing like audio story podcasts?" Because
Yeah, right.
he sounds like he'd be driving and be like, "And then I told Susie," and I was like, "This is a good voice." And then everybody in the chat was like, "Oh my god, who's this? Who's doing the voice for this?" I was like, "I don't know, but all right." good job. Like,
Yeah.
that was like one of the first comments of the whole game. I was like,
That's
who's that
awesome.
guy doing a voice? And I was
Wow,
like,
that's awesome. I got
that and like, can you get the notes right? I'm like, I'm trying as I'm crying a little bit, but yeah, that voice was like, that was I was like, man, whoever's doing these voices is, wow, doing a good job. So you definitely picked a good one there. I promise you that one.
So we got him,
Wow.
and then Arman and I are like huge metalheads. So we reached out to some other people in the metal community, and we got some other, big name guys like in our genre. So there's Lee McKinney from a band called Born of Osiris. He's playing a couple characters, and then Andy Sizik. He was from a band called Monuments, and he's actually in a ton of bands, but he does a character. And then we got Alexandra Norton. She's in a band called Echoes. She's like more of a solo artist with a backing band sort of thing. She kind of has like an Evanescence sort of vibe, and she does one of the characters as well. So we thought because the game revolves around a musician, it would be cool to hire some, musicians for voice actors.
I got it. So that kind of pings a question for me a little bit. So as I'm playing the game, it was like very like harmonious music, but you guys are into heavy metal.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't hear no heavy metal, but I didn't make it far enough. I don't know. Who knows?
No, definitely the music has that kind of vibe, and that's all thanks to our musician Milan. He's this Serbian musician and sound engineer.
Oh, nice.
Who just like he gets the vibe of the stories we're trying to tell, and we like clicked with him instantly. He worked on that project that Arman was talking about, our demo project before this, and we brought him in for this as well. But he has this very like, I think he kind of has that like Eastern European influence in his music a little bit, which is pretty unique, I think. So and also I should mention too that I should just pull it out 1 second. So the instrument is based off of the Greek bouzouki. So this is like what Traveler's instrument is based off of. And I wanted him to kind of incorporate that sound into the music as well. So I think because he's from Serbia, which is pretty close to Greece, he kind of was able to integrate that vibe very well.
I was trying to figure that out too. I was like, what instrument is this? Everybody else having all kinds of different. They're like, maybe it's a league. I was like, I don't know what it is. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's super awesome.
I pasted the link to our first title, Mask of Semblance.
Okay.
Just so you guys can see what that looked like.
Is it not on your? Is it on your Steam page?
No, we never got that. Yeah, go ahead.
We never released the game. It was a demo that we took to PAX East twice, looking for a publisher, and that was the one that kind of fell through with the other publisher. But it was a boy who wears a mask that kind of talks to him, and it's kind of similar art style.
I like this.
Different angle.
Yeah. It looks.
I was about to say too. This you could definitely see the art. So I heard one of you use the art. I know which one of you used the art, but did you have a hand in the art for the game?
Me?
Oh yeah, I did. Who, me?
Yes.
Nick?
Nick,
and me, Nick. I
was looking at the game, and so
did everything.
I did so much art. I mean, we did end up hiring some amazing artists to help me out. They did a lot more of the environment art, and assisted with just design and conceptualizing and stuff. But I want to say like 95 to 99% of the animation. I designed all the characters. I was kind of art directing as well as doing tons and tons and tons and tons of art. So, I don't want to discredit our other artists, helped a lot too. It's just this game is obviously extremely art heavy.
It is.
So
very much.
That's the majority of what we were doing as a team was making art assets.
Yeah. I mean, that was another comment too. A lot of people are like, "This is like a beautiful game." I was like, "Yeah, it's really very." It was very well put together. So, yeah, it was. I always love these guys. Know they hear it every time somebody comes on and they have hand drawn art or something. I'm just like, "Ooh, I like it." So, yeah, I just want to point that out that people are loving the art too. So,
I appreciate it.
Good job, you and your artist.
Thank you.
So
I got
were you
another
guys
weird question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, were you guys inspired by any other games at all, or any movies, or any of the media?
You want to take this one, Armand?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, a big inspiration for me was Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
The Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time, and I actually grew up drawing like little dungeons in like a notepad and stuff, and I was like, yeah, one day I want to build my own dungeons. So this was my perfect opportunity to do that. So I had like my drawing app and everything, and but yeah, that was one of my inspirations. For us, like themes from like Nier and Final Fantasy definitely played a role in it. I'm a big fan of like Yu-Gi-Oh and that universe, so I tried to like add a lot of weird, interesting names to the enemies and things like that. So yeah, those were our inspirations.
We've
super
always
dope.
kind of had a crossover in like some of these like darker themed story based games, and I think that was something we really wanted to bring into this. Was just like, I feel like, and I don't want to say everyone, but there is definitely a trend nowadays of like indie games being like very ambiguous and like atmospheric storytelling and stuff like that. But we're like, no, we want to have voice acting, we want to have dialogue, character development, stuff like that, just like in an old RPG game, So obviously we're more action RPG, but I think if you play our game, you would feel that RPG essence as well as the old school Zelda essence as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. So a question too. I was kind of, and I don't know. I'm probably didn't make it far enough to get another weapon, but a lantern is your weapon. That's kind of different.
Yeah, you do get a couple more weapons. There is 3 weapons you get that you can kind of switch between throughout gameplay. We definitely kind of space out the abilities throughout the campaign, but I'm like I think this started because we were like, okay, the guy's going to be in a forest. What is something that is like utility for a forest while it could also be a weapon? We're like, okay, if you're in a forest, it's dark. You can light things, like it's visually bright. You can light torches, you can burn stuff, whatever. So we were like, why don't we make that the weapon too that you whack things with?
That's pretty cool, actually.
And then there's also a thematic of fire that you'll kind of see throughout the game as well. So
like burning the leaves and get him to undo the traps to open up the doors. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was just like, I thought that was super unique. Like before I played the game and I watched some of your gameplay trailers, I'm like, oh, maybe the guitar and stuff like that. Then I realized it was a lantern. I was like, this is odd. Okay, let's see how this works. And then I liked it the whole time. I was like, oh, this is super dope. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that explains a lot.
The instrument mechanic was kind of like the main defining factor for combat, but it didn't start that way. It was like initially it was just a heal spell. We're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if he like takes his instrument out of his back and just starts strumming, and when you use that, he heals himself. We're like, okay, let's take it further. Like maybe he can do multiple types of songs and they all do different effects in the world. And then we were like, why don't we make it a little more technical so the people who want to be technical can master it? And that's how we kind of got to the input-based system. And I know some people found it a little too difficult to use, but I think it was kind of hard to pick a side. We kind of had to commit to it being a little more technical versus not. And you can play through most of the game without playing any songs really, except for like the heal and the Song of the Ancients. But at the end of the game, you do need to play some of the songs. So
I thought the songs were, so I was struggling at first, but I feel like once you learn, like there's this you get super excited as you pull them off. You're like, yes, I did it. You're like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? Because you just get so happy, because at first you're like, oh, what the heck? Because I didn't realize that the down, that meant down. I just started figuring out the pattern by looking at how they were, and I was like, oh, that's an arrow down. So I was like, oh, I'm just like an idiot. So I was like thinking it was the opposite way.
I told you, Nick.
I thought the stabby thing was like the direction, right? So I was like, okay, that means down. But once you start to actually be able to nail them without having to like think about the pattern, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty badass. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a god.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, especially at endgame. And it's like it's hard too because we're the devs. We've like memorized these spells. We know how to like play them like the back of our hand. But I will say from experience, once you start ripping spells towards endgame, you're like, oh, this is sick, man. Like there's so many cool
Yeah.
combos you can kind of combine with the spells and the melee attacks to do some cool stuff. So
oh, that's super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long did it take you guys to kind of like, from the beginning, like to develop this thing? Like, was this
a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so I should say we weren't like full time on this the whole duration. So that's just, part of, a lot of indie dev stories, obviously. But yeah, we worked on this thing for over 5 years. So
Wow.
we were also, besides like this demo project we talked about, like pretty green, like relatively new devs. So we were like teaching ourselves stuff throughout the whole experience. I mean, like before we started our company, we had never been in Unity before. Even Arman obviously had a lot of like fundamental programming experience. I knew how to like do art. I've been a professional artist for like 10 years. But I had never animated for games before. I've never, implemented assets. I'd never like written scripts. So a lot of this stuff we had to just kind of figure out on the fly and get things to work together. And I should also mention another member we had early on. He didn't stay with us super long, but we did have a member. His name was Diego, and he helped us build tools to kind of speed up our workflow. So he helped us build things like, in the forest, you see there's like lines of like plants that are like varying plants, like tools where you could kind of just like have 2 points and then randomize the plants along the way and kind of move those things around. He helped us build like shaders. So when the character gets hit, he like flashes, or when he heals, he flashes, whatever, stuff like that. So yeah, I would say, I mean, I guess, just unsolicited advice for any developers that might be listening to just make sure you're trying to figure out how to do things as efficiently as early on as possible, because it just like makes your life way easier down the line when things get more complicated.
Probably frees you up for other things too, right? That you can focus on.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like we had to overhaul our AI, like enemy AI, like halfway through the project because it was just like unsustainable. And that was kind of a learning experience for me. Like I started writing the enemy AI like in a very simple way, and then I started kind of like running into bugs, and I'm like, well, now this is like not scalable. So I reached out to a buddy of mine, and he kind of gave me some guidance on how to rework it. So I went back and redid all the enemy AI like up to that point, and then every enemy onward used this new AI system, and it saved me like hundreds of hours of time, I swear, because with the new system I was able to like compartmentalize like each, if it was an issue with the enemy's like attack, I knew exactly where to go, and stuff like that. So yeah,
So that's amazing. Actually, that's like
Wow.
you guys did a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
5 years.
yeah.
I mean, anybody who saw the game that on my stream thought was like, this is extremely well polished and it's beautiful. So 5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
I bet
And
you're
I'll
like, I'm
say
ready to get this done.
It flies by too. That's the other thing that's like crazy about it, because we had jobs and stuff, or have jobs and stuff like that. We're working after hours, so we're like meeting up on nights, we're meeting up on Sundays, and we're just like cranking stuff out. So yeah, it's a really big commitment, but we just knew you feel something in your bones. You're like, we got to finish this thing, we loved it so much. We still love it so much. We just wanted to get it done, and we wanted to do it the way that we felt was the right way to put out the project, so
Yeah, because I know for sure there's like a lot of indie devs who like can't finish a project. They start big and they have like big ambition and stuff. They're like, oh, I'm gonna make this greatest game ever, and then they can't finish it because it's like too big for them to handle, or they just get busy. All of a sudden, stuff happens, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like releasing a game on Steam itself is like a big accomplishment,
Yeah.
And then,
I think.
For some reason, the greatest song in the world came in my head when you said the best game ever. Like, it was the best game ever. No, but yeah. But I bet like during working on it and the whole journey and stuff do you think that like most of the time you're like just like like were you looking forward to all that extra time spent outside of your own jobs doing it, or was there times when you're just like, oh my god, here we go again today? Like,
I think that at least I don't know.
And then what we were working on.
I can speak for both of us then. Yeah,
We were working
was
on
always,
UI. Yeah.
yeah, UI.
We're working on UI. We're like, oh shit. Man.
Yeah, I don't want to figure out how to make the start button start the game.
I just want to code the game, not the UI.
Yeah. Or if you were hung up on an issue for a long time, that's also when we were like going into a work session being like, oh, this is gonna suck. But I will say that like we never ever still have come across a problem that we couldn't eventually figure out. So that's the thing, like that comes with experience, that you're kind of like, okay, I need to tell myself that even if it's really tough right now, we're going to figure out a way to do it, or we're going to figure out an alternate way to do the same thing. So,
yeah. So like, honestly, you guys gave yourself some more chops. You know what I mean? Just more stuff in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I can't even begin to list off the amount of skills I've obtained just putting this thing
level
together. Up. Yeah. It's like crazy
Exactly.
stuff that I never thought I would have done before, and I think Arman could probably say the same thing. Like,
yeah, sure.
I
For me, more on the game side, but yeah, Nick more on like the marketing and all like the prep stuff that he did for the game.
Well, dude, even I mean, we I should mention we're published by Indie.io. Like, even obtaining a publisher, that was something we did a lot together. Was like figuring out pitch decks, figuring out just how to talk to them and how to reach out to them, like all this kind of stuff that it's not an intuitive thing. You kind of have to do a lot of trial and error, and also like learning from other people that have done it before, because there is kind of I don't want to say there's an exact right way, but there's kind of a right way to approach people and share your project with them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
very true.
I mean,
did you reach Indie.io or did they reach you?
So we reached out to them because the guy that was kind of helping us out with marketing was like, hey, I think they'd be a good fit for you guys. And it was funny because the email we got back pretty immediately after we reached out to them was the guy being like, hey, I actually saw your guys' game in Steam Next Fest, and I was going to reach out to you guys anyway.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were on Steam Next Fest first before you landed them.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That helped a lot.
I would say that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah. We were kind of at the point where we were like, I mean, you guys are cursing, right? Like shit or get off the pot kind of thing, right? Like we were just like, let's just put the game on Steam. Let's try to do Steam Next Fest, even though we didn't know if we were prepared. Like we had a demo put together and we're like, okay, the demo's pretty cool. People seem to like it, like from, the people we've shown, and let's just see what happens. So it's kind of a catch-22 because I think we were maybe a little bit early in terms of the audience we had. Like sometimes it's nicer to build up a larger audience and then be like, oh, here's Steam Next Fest, here's my demo and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But at the same time, I think if we didn't do it that way, we probably wouldn't have gotten our publisher. We probably wouldn't have gotten that little boost that we kind of needed to get going at the time.
And I mean, as a publisher, they got quite a bunch of games underneath them.
Oh, Indie.io is a big publisher when it comes to indie games. They're huge.
They got the Humanit Z on there.
Yeah, they're a big publisher, so that's pretty cool.
I think that would be dope. But yeah, I mean, their name's Indie, If they ever did like a AAA game, they're like, wait a minute, we gotta change our names. Indie plus AAIO.
I mean, it could be a double A game. Don't forget.
Yeah. Indie or nothing. Just kidding. But no, that's pretty cool. No.
Yeah, so I think that's the beauty of becoming an indie game dev, because you get to like experience everything, and if there's like a problem, you have to like tackle them and try to figure out, instead of like reaching out to the different team and say, hey, our team, could you fix this, or hey, dev team, could you fix that? That's like a difference between like AAA studios and indie game studio. I would say, I think. And also you learn a lot from that. And also I know a lot of people told me that you never succeed on your first project. It's like impossible to succeed on your first project. You just have to learn how to do stuff better and more efficiently, and then move on to the next project, and then see if that fits, and move on, go on, and you never know if it's going to be a hit or not. So.
Yeah, it's definitely just about putting stuff out. I mean, I think a lot of the big indie games we all know about, there's some that like pop off immediately, but you'll start to notice, like a good example I think is like Celeste or something like that, right? They built that little mini version of their game before they built Celeste, so it's just it's kind of like you don't really know. As a gamer, you have gamer intuition in terms of like what you think is going to be fun and what works. But until you really start building and then testing it yourself, you kind of like, you just don't know, right? You could just have to like get in there and do stuff, and then get other people to play it and kind of be reassured in a sense that what you're making is actually like going to be worth putting time into. So
that is true.
Very, very true. They're very rare for indie games to become like all of a sudden like hit from release date. So is there's anything like that you want to kind of, if you go back in time, is there anything you want to like do differently, or?
Oh yeah, that's actually something I was literally just thinking about too. Like, if we redid the same exact game right now, knowing what we know now, we could do this in at least half the time. You know what I mean? It's like even working more part-time on it. So I think there's a million things we would do differently, but it's mostly coming down to efficiency and really planning out. I think we were in a phase where we were so with our first project, we were so focused on making it look and feel like as perfect as we could, even though it was just a demo. Like, we polished the crap out of that thing. Yeah. But it took us forever to get something that was that polished. So with this project, we were like, let's focus more on prototyping. So we prototype. We have kind of things to mess around with and like a game to play. But then slapping on all the polish, it becomes a little bit of a burden when you have too much stuff to finalize at the same time, I guess I should say. So I think for me, that would be one of the biggest things, is like almost compromising. Like, you do a prototyping session, but then you don't neglect half-finished tasks or assets for a long period of time. Because there are times when Arman and I, especially because, again, we were working part-time, we'd come back to something we were doing like after like a couple weeks, and we'd be like, what the heck are we doing with that thing again? Like, how can we fix that? And that just slows you down, you know?
Like, not playing the game for a really long time. You're like, what was I doing in this level?
Exactly. Well, it's even like programming. It's like, I was working on some system like 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't touched it since, because I'm working on every system in the game. So I'm like, okay, I'm done this, next thing, done this, next thing, next. So when we have to like revisit stuff, I'm like, shit, like, what did I do here again? Why did I write that piece of code? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Why did I do
like
that? And then yeah. So
wow, yeah, that would be crazy. You guys said kind of that Zelda and that classic RPG, and I haven't finished yet, so no spoilers yet. Definitely want to play your game and see that to the end. It's definitely, I can definitely want to do that. But is there plans for maybe more story like Zelda, or like more spins off for this?
We've had concepts in mind for how to potentially build out this world a little bit more, and then also build out games that kind of share a universe in a certain sense. But right now, man, we're just like focusing at this point on marketing and just spreading the word of this
Of the
game.
game.
So yeah,
of
we're
course.
like, I mean, we launched like 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point, so we're like just fresh off of launch. But yeah, I mean, Armand will tell you, I'm the crazy guy that like even before we press the launch button, I'm like, dude, I have an idea for a new.
I got another game idea. You're just like,
Yeah, you wouldn't shut up about it for like 3 days after release. It's like, dude,
are you the grounding one? You're
like,
like, hey man, let's just do this game next. Let's
like,
just get this game out, all right?
I was like, yeah, chill, dude. We gotta manage this game. Like, no, I don't want to like waste my time making like some like, I don't know, excavator game or something. I don't know.
I love it.
Let's bask in our glory for a couple days.
It's always good to have that one friend that's like, I see your ambition. Let's just relax a little bit. That's super dope. So with how's the marketing been? How do you feel that's all been going? I mean, because you got a little bit of, some success with just putting it on Steam Next Fest by getting a publisher. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you're always building, and I think especially as a new studio, and especially as a studio that just released a game, what we kind of realized was before you release, and I know that I'm speaking I guess more for us, but it's like before someone can even play your game, it's hard to convince them like, hey, we're cool, follow us, check out the game, that kind of thing. But then once they can play it, they're like, oh wow, and then they start telling their friends, and we start talking to you guys and people like that. So we're in definitely like a process of just like building and reaching out to YouTubers and building our Discord up and stuff like that. And I know George has seen this as well, but Armand and I also have like a podcast that we started too. We're kind of coming from the spin of like we're game developers who are talking about games, so we give more of an analytical kind of viewpoint, I guess, on some of the games.
So you were prepared for this. Like another podcast.
You love being on camera.
Let's knock this out, Armand. Let's do this.
Another episode, gosh.
Yeah. No, we haven't actually done too many interviews about the game, so we're pretty excited to chat with you guys about it.
Yeah, because I saw your podcast. That's how I kind of found out about you guys, and then I thought it was really, really interesting because a lot of game devs, indie devs, I know for sure, they like kind of are usually shy to come to the camera, like come in front of the camera. They're like, and also they're not good, with talking about stuff, and they're just like want to make games and just chill. So it's kind of like
we kind of figured like Armand and I just sit around talking about games anyway. Why not?
That's a good point. I mean, why not make content? Why not make content and then
that's awesome.
That's pretty
like might as well just do it live. We'll just get it going. Honestly, I feel like a game needs to have a lot more exposure. Not like you're not doing your job. I'm just saying it's that good. Like it is a really polished, really well game. Because I was playing it, people were like, "What game is this?" I'm like, "This is this game." And I, always put the Steam link in my in the description and tell people where to get it. So I was like, "Yeah, no," and they're like, "Oh, this is gorgeous." Some people were saying kind of look like what's that one game that George likes so much on his mobile?
Bastion.
Wild Drift?
Were you gonna say Bastion?
No, it's kind of that one game. It reminds me of your game, but not all the way. It's the one. It was really big for a while. You die and then you get stronger. Hades.
Oh, Hades.
Yeah,
Hades.
Some people were like, "Oh, this kind of looks like a Hades and stuff." But when I played it, I almost automatically got, because I'm old. I mean, I'll be honest with you, but like, I got that old school like beautiful new art and everything that you can get with a new game, but also that retro RPG type Zelda vibe.
I felt too.
Like a link to the past.
I felt the same vibe too, because back in the old days, it's just like all about just WASD and just moving around and looking for items and fighting. So
And George brings us all the interesting. It's like, we got a podcast, guys. And I was like, I would never have known. I would have never known about you guys until he's like, here's the key, check them out. And I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And now look, here we are.
yeah,
so
I always try to like search for good and interesting looking podcasts here. Or
he's had a
games
theme
here
the
and
last
there,
couple games. The last couple games like music heavy games. I don't know if
Nice.
Pattern. You notice the pattern too.
So the
I
month
noticed
of
the
May,
pattern. Yeah,
It's like the music fest for us.
It's like every month we have a theme.
I'm like, so wait a minute, are we doing a music game? Okay, well, here we go.
Actually, not to spoil anything, but like end of this month, we have another music one coming up.
That's so funny.
It's I didn't mean to
funny
do it,
too.
but
Like I know there's always been music type games, but
Yeah.
I feel like as we're approaching releasing our game, we're like, we've found like 3 more games that a guy uses an instrument to like blast something out of his
Right.
instrument. We're like,
Mhm.
okay.
I think that's kind of a cool. I kind of always like that. I don't know. I like it when people make weapons that aren't necessarily really weapons, but as being heavy metal and stuff, you always call your guitar your axe, right?
Yeah.
So it just always made kind of sense. Plus, I feel like when a game has some like dope music in it, it just makes the game like even more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh, for sure.
all I know is if you mess up the chords on your game, it doesn't like the music in the background's good, but as I was learning, I was like, bark, bark, bark. And I was like, oh God, this is horrible. Like at one time I just let the enemies kill me. I'm like, just let it kill me. Just like until I actually figured it out. But I feel like I feel like it's just a good match, especially with people wearing headphones a lot when they're gaming. Like if the music sets the mood, it's a medium, right? So if you can deliver on all the fronts, visual, the hearing, taste, smell. I licked the monitor. I got nothing from your game, but and I haven't gotten anything yet from anybody. So
I think that's something too that like we really, really tried to hammer down because it's really important to us is like the vibe of the game. And I almost think that's what, it's hard because everyone's like, oh, well, your game needs to be game first, right? And I get that, but I just love storytelling so much, and I love like atmosphere so much, and those are the things I appreciate when I play a game or when I watch a movie. And it's hard with games because you don't want, unless you're Kojima, you don't want your game to come across as being a movie. But you
I haven't touched the controller in like 30 minutes, but I'm still moving.
But yeah, we wanted to we wanted people to enter our world and just feel like they're in this like weird place, So.
Like out of this world, right? Because one of the reasons why you play games is because you kind of want to move away from your reality. It's not like, not saying that your reality sucks or anything, but you kind of want to move to a different world and be a different character and a different person. And music definitely is one of those elements that will help you set the vibe and the mood of
for sure.
I feel like too, there's games where you play and you're like, oh, that was fun, but it wasn't memorable. But when you get games that you get into and it makes you actually feel something and like it start becoming invested, that's when it's a true like, oh man, what's gonna happen to this dude next, right? Like I'm chasing down this wooden woman. Hopefully I find her. Like I don't light her on fire with my lantern because she's seems like I really care about this lady. You know what I mean? So but no, like, and that's one thing I think that we're like talking about all these AAA titles coming out and how good they are. Like, I haven't played Obscur, is probably great. But I've found that indie titles just develop on, or they just almost, the really good ones deliver on that story. And one thing too is when I was gaming and people were watching, one of my people watching with me or watching it was like the story. They go, I really like how the story is like weaved into like the action scenes and stuff. Like the the talking's part of the story instead of we're all run into a camp and they're like, hey, let me talk to you, and you're like.
Yeah.
But you just had that. You had the story like it paced through it as he was doing his little. Oh, I hope I find her and stuff. And you're as you're going through, they're like, they really liked the fact that you had that story weaving in and out of it. It was pretty dope. So
That's
good job
awesome.
on that one.
I need to find out who your audience is, because these are all like the things I want to be hearing.
They're
Well,
the target audience.
I'm not as big as I would like to be, but a lot of the people who come to the games when I do my broadcast, I like to get indie titles, and I will literally kind of go over the game with people. Like I'll be like, we'll talk about like, I'm like, oh man, this art's dope. This is beautiful music. And then if something's kind of wonky, I'm like, I don't know why. It's like,
is it a game or is it
That's
you?
weird.
I did a game right before your guys' game. I did
Uh,
I did a game right before your guys' game. Somebody reached out for me to do a game thing for them, or to help with marketing, evidently, or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie to you, they had one mechanic in the game. I was like, I'm never playing this game again. And I think everybody in the chat was like, so you just roll around in a circle? I'm like, I don't know, but a lot of times too. So it's nice to have that kind of feedback when you're playing, and you have people who are seeing it from your point of view, but then also seeing it from another point. They're like, oh man, that's dope, and I think that's cool. And then you're like, yes, this is dope, and you are right. So I don't know if that's helped with some of your feedback or not, but yeah, they loved how the story was weaved in and out of the where he stops and he'll start talking. And then I know when I was in the bar scene and everybody was wood, and he's like, I don't like that guy. I was like, I don't either. Let's burn him. Let's burn them all. You got the lantern. Let's get it going. But yeah. But then I kept getting hurt until I figured out why I was getting hurt. I'm like, I ain't talking to nobody again. It was like, ow. And I'm like, the frick? I'm just talking to wood, man. Don't get close.
We talked about that mechanic like so many times before the game released, because we're like, are people going to be confused that they're getting hurt? And it's like, we need the player to damage themselves somehow so we can show them that the heal spell
how to
works.
heal.
Yeah. So
afterwards I understood it completely, but at the first time it happened, I was like, what? Like I was like, what the hell? And I was like, well, the story's got to go on. I'm either gonna die or live. Let's go in. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just got a quick question. Did you guys do a lot of testing, like beta testers and all that before? Like, because I know like indie games have a lot of these things. Have like a close community where you guys can kind of let other players play test the game before you actually start fixing issues or have that.
Our publisher
your Discord
assists with QA. I think before then we probably, if I'm being totally honest, probably could have done more testing than we did. But that was just due to lack of time and resources of being a super small company.
Right.
I guess I should like explicitly say we were like 5 core team members, so we were like really small team. And we were all kind of testing consistently, but yeah, like in terms of like outside testing, we had some testing done, but that's another thing. I think more. Yeah, I think for whatever next game is, that's another thing I'm talking about in terms of like you prototype and kind of solidify things instead of prototype, because then if you have something that's a little bit more solid, it's easier to send that to someone to test. For a very long time, our game was like Arman and I could play it, but we couldn't very easily like send it to someone to play, Yeah. So
I think we definitely needed more testing done. Like we were just so busy getting the game finished, and it was just Nik and I playing it all the time, that once we released the game, people were finding these like really obscure bugs, and we were just like, how the hell are people doing this in the game? And like there's no way like we didn't catch it, our other testers didn't catch it, so it was just one of those things where and it's the thing, it's like all these games they release with bugs, but you hate to be the one with any in them. Thankfully we didn't have like that many. There was a few game breaking ones like on day 1 or 2 that we like patched basically like almost instantly. But yeah, it's that, I think testing would have been one thing that I wish we did more of.
Yeah, no, I honestly, even with you saying that, I think you have a pretty polished product. It's hard nowadays to ever release something. It's not.
Yeah.
They used to do it back in the day too. They just were just like, well, it's part of the game now because it's.
Yes.
I need you to send back your your disc. We're gonna have to read, and they're like, no, bro. This is in it now.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it was part of the game, and then people would find funniest bugs ever, like doing stupid. Because you never know what people are gonna be doing with your game. Because
I think for us, it's tough because it's so story based and like it's not there's backtracking elements, but it's relatively linear. So like when someone gets to a blocker. And we're just like, oh my God, how do we fix their progression? That's like the scariest thing.
Yeah.
I had one guy, it's like, I fixed it, so I'm just going to share it. But I had one guy that literally got knocked out of bounds and then saved out of bounds.
Oh.
I'm like, how do I get this? How do I specifically fix it for this one guy and then also prevent it from other people happening?
Yeah.
So I literally built a warper for this guy that no one else could probably ever find ever again. But I'm just like, I drew him a little map. I sent it to him on Discord. I'm like, dude, just run into this area. It will warp you back to where you need to be. And
there's a hidden warp cave for just that dude.
Okay, that's that.
He loved me for that thing, man. He was so happy that I was able to fix it because he's like 6 hours into the game. He's like, I don't want to,
0.001% of achievements.
Yeah.
People have passed his achievements. That one guy. He's like,
he's the only person that had the achievement. Going through the warp.
Warp achievement.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Super awesome. I mean, and that's kind of cool that you even were like, all right, I'm gonna build a thing just for this dude because he's out of bounds for some odd reason. Like,
I don't want this stuff to happen to people, that if I was playing a game, it's like that would just suck, so
yeah.
I think enthusiasm is contagious. So it's like somebody comes to us and they're really enthusiastic about the game and they want to play it and enjoy it. And our response has to be like, okay, we got to make it work for this person because they're really enthusiastic about it. So
I just remember when they started adding the button to games that says the stuck button. You guys all remember that? Like, you would go somewhere, get stuck, and your character's like,
dude, you know what I played most recently that had one like that? It was Toem. Did you guys play that game? It was like a black and white game. You're this little character, and the whole mechanic is taking pictures of things. You get like missions to take pictures. Okay. And I realized in their menu, it's like there's a button that's like got stuck. Click this, and you just click the button. It puts you somewhere safe.
It's got some. It looks really. I love this. This is beautiful.
It was a pretty cool game. You could beat it in like 4 hours too.
It's one of those games that you sit down. And you're like, well, that was a nice little go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking game. And the minute you said it, I kind of remember because wasn't this? Did this just come out? No, it didn't come out in 2021.
No. Yeah, it was kind of old.
2021. Jeez.
I think you guys are in the Steam. I think Steam right now is having a indie carnival or something like that, and I think you guys are actually in it. I might be wrong.
Yeah, we got into that. No one I think our publisher signed us up for it, and then they didn't tell us we got in. So we opened our Steam page one day and we're like, oh, we're in this thing. That's cool.
Yeah, I was over here looking at your, I keep pulling up your guys' stuff and looking around at everything while we're talking, and then I was like, wait a minute, there's an indie thing going on. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's pretty well. At least they did it. They did, something to get you out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's about that time.
Nope, we're never getting off. They're stuck here forever. I like it too much. I want to keep these ones, George.
Are they stuck out of the screen? We're gonna keep them out of the screen.
I don't want to lose these ones. They're ours.
Thumbnails of us that permanently exist on your podcast.
You guys are too close for me, so that's dangerous. Like I just drive up and be like, hey.
Yeah,
I've been stalking you.
Yeah, Zach also lives in Texas, so.
Okay, where in Texas you at?
Only a couple more years. I'm in Cibolo, right outside San Antonio.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, when George came down for South by Southwest, he stayed with me.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
actually there for
nice.
a week.
Did you guys do any South by Southwest for your game or anything like that?
No.
No.
Skipped it.
Yeah. Are you guys planning on going
Yeah.
to any of the offline events with the
Online.
game?
I don't not in the foreseeable future. It's honestly like it's so expensive to go to these things
Yeah,
anymore,
yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember
about
even
it.
when we were setting up a booth for PAX, like booths, it's just a huge expense. And we love talking to people and we love meeting people. And honestly, if it wasn't for those events, I don't think we would have even gone to this point because we made a lot of friends that were able to kind of help this whole process, especially on the business end, like learning how to talk to the publishers and stuff like I was talking about before. But at this point, it's like we have to think strategically of like where is our best time and money spent. And it's like,
Right.
Oh, yeah,
if I'm being
100%.
totally honest, like, get going on stuff like this, being online is a lot more inexpensive and less time consuming than flying out somewhere.
Much more eyes. Dude, what PAX South did you go to?
We did PAX East 2 times. Yeah.
Okay.
In Boston.
PAX East is this
Boston?
week.
Yeah. Our friend is going, and we're like, we're sad. But PAX, those conventions, I will say, I don't know if you guys have ever been to PAX, but like, it's so much fun.
It's super fun. It's super fun. That was one of the saddest things is when they took PAX South from here.
Yeah, I
shut it down.
went the year before they shut it down.
Yeah.
Which
So
was
I used to-
2020 or something.
I used to take off that week and just go to it, like, and because I was here, so I was like,
Yeah. Why
I literally
not?
just park in the parking garage and go to it, and I used to love it. And then when they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're not bringing it back," I was like,
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks because there's so much like art and culture down here, especially
Yeah.
in Houston. It's very, very much like that. So
Yeah.
"It's very beautiful." Well, I mean, like San Antonio, not so much. I would say, kind of, but like when you go to places like Austin and like when we went to South by Southwest, there's a lot of stuff there, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Like, so one day maybe I'll make it to Houston. I hate y'all's traffic.
Yeah.
Dallas and Houston, I'm like, oh, kill me now as I'm driving through it. Like, and I mean, that's saying a lot coming from San Antonio because anybody's from, I'm not from Texas either. I'm from Wyoming, but anybody who's been here long enough knows that the state flower is a traffic cone. So, like that's gonna be another about 2 hours, and I'll be home. So. But no, your guys' game is super dope, and I appreciate getting my hands on it and playing it, and I definitely want to play it more now. But I'm gonna
Go play more.
Well, I kind of want to do it in front of my people because they're like all invested now. They're like, "What's gonna happen next?" I was like, "I don't know." Like, let's
share the link with us. Share the link with us so we can join in and join the party.
No worries. Definitely will. It's a beautiful game. So my parting is you guys did a great job, and I'm super cool that you put that together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Trying to figure it all out.
Means a lot.
And UI's the enemy.
Yeah.
UI is the enemy. That is right.
UI is the enemy. That's gonna be the thumbnail title for this episode. UI is the enemy.
No, I always talk to people. Yeah. I know a little bit about that stuff. I'm not like you guys are, but I know that place because I work with a lot of cyber and intel people. And I always say, I was like, you wouldn't believe how important UI is. That's somebody's whole job is just like, if they click that button, this will happen. You're like, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So I can totally understand that. So
is there any plans to bring your game to console?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Because I know you're a physical collector, so you probably want to see your game as a physical.
Oh, dude, that's like my dream. That is like my dream.
We
are looking into it right now. Let me put it that way. So yeah,
it'd be a good Switch title.
Yeah,
yes,
it will be.
I don't know because it's a lot of those games that are those RPGs like that are just really good for handheld because it's not like I don't like first person handheld, but I would definitely sit there if people were trying to talk to me and do stuff I didn't care about. Like,
Yeah. I don't,
hold on, I'm over here trying to break this song out.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right. Do you guys want to say, is there anything that you want to add before we kind of end the podcast to the people who are watching or listening?
I think just check the game out on Steam. If anyone has already picked it up, please write a review if you liked it, or just write an honest review. That helps us more than you could imagine. So writing a review, and then if anyone wants to chat with us about games, hop in our Red Essence Discord. And Arman and I are always on the internet. So if you want to talk about the game, we're around. So
That sounds ominous.
awesome.
We're always on the internet.
Yeah.
we are always on the internet, dude.
We're
Always on
watching
the
you. do you want to add anything, Arman? Or
No, it was a pleasure talking to you guys and getting to know you. I think we made a couple new friends today, so
Yes.
appreciate your time.
yeah.
And definitely let us know when you're doing stuff, streams and whatnot. Drop the links, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely, no problem.
Yeah.
You guys did me a favor. I love showing off indie games. I don't know. Did you play yours online, Anthony? Did you do it on the side?
I didn't sign for a bit.
Okay. I didn't know if we could or not, but then I looked at the release date and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it.
You guys can change. Yeah.
Just because, like, if it's a really good indie game, I honestly do it just to see if I can get people to even look at it. To be honest with you, like, so that's like my whole goal is to get people to look at indie games that they might not have known about. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
it was really just kind of. But then I always kind of jump into them blind, and then I'm like, I hope this isn't a really bad game because I can't fake the funk. You know what I mean? I gotta be like, yeah, this is the best time ever. Oh god, this is, So like whatever you see, I'm definitely actually feeling it because you could ask George. There's a couple games he's given me. He's like, hey, Tess, will you write a review on this? I'm like, sure. A couple days later, I'm like, look, I might have misstepped. Can you just give that key to someone else? Because this game is rough.
Oh, man.
This is not it, bro. You can, at least for me.
I'm glad we're not one of those.
No. Yeah, your game was dope. It was super cool. The only thing I was like confused about at first, like I said, was the fact that there was the arrow, and I was like, what the like. Then I finally figured it out. I was like, oh, that's the arrow. So then I started. Yeah.
But
And I do. So I also liked all the I like that kind of like automaton gear stuff and like the weaving of the nature and everything into it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, and now we know that you guys like heavy metal. Next game, throw some
heavy metal.
make it like a futuristic version of the game, but lots of heavy metal. Just like, hey, bro.
With the same voice actor too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same mission.
You need to have that guy on speed dial. Like, hey, we're making a game. I need you to. Well, you got a couple of bands, so knowing that you guys are friends with these, I mean, I'm sure they would make a song for your games or whatever if you ask them nicely.
There may or may not be a song in the game somewhere that you probably haven't gotten to yet. So
go ahead, Zach. Go and start playing it.
I did.
Go start playing
honestly, I think I don't remember if I played it, how long I played it, but I literally stopped when I was like, I'm either tired or dumb. I don't know what's next because that's the one thing I struggle with. And I'm like, so I definitely felt your dungeon element. I was like, what the hell? I swear to God, do I go this way? I was like, am I lost? I'm lost. Damn it, I'm lost. How do I do this? So I started panicking because I was like, oh my God. But I'll figure it out. I promise.
Yeah.
Well, you got our Discord, so you can come ask us.
Yeah, you can also do that.
I popped in there, so I definitely, knowing how awesome you guys are, I'll be a fly in your ointment.
Sweet.
Yeah, and all three of us are all on Minimap Discord as well, so I'll just give you an invite. You guys can hang out with us there too.
That'd be awesome.
So many Discords. It's insane.
Get Discord Nitro.
All right.
Do you guys ever hover over a Discord that you've not been to for a really long time and you're about to delete it and you're like, oh man, I don't know why
I throw them all in a folder.
I don't know why I feel so bad about this, but and then you don't do it. You're like, but I just and nothing. It's not like it's gonna like ruin anything. You're just like, I don't know why I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I actually had a friend of mine who had a Discord and he died, and nobody talks in it, but I'm just like, I don't want to delete his Discord, but nobody's
man.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you pull up a message from someone, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not to make it a bummer, but yeah, your game is definitely dope. I'll send you my links to stuff and everything. So
Yes.
Sweet.
I just
it's-
added you on Discord. I think you were just popped in there, right?
yeah, it should be a guy flexing. I'll change it sooner
Yeah.
or later. George said he was scared of my guns, so I had to.
What guns?
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
put my pink little Kirby picture out there like this. So
All right. Thank you all
that's the best
for
way.
coming, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
All right. Thanks for having us,
Bye,
guys.
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
check them out on
Yeah.
Steam.
Yes, Travelers
Please.
Refrain.
Don't refrain from checking out Traveler's Refrain. Okay, it's a great game. I like.